Here's my take on how the way became the way. This is called godly intervention at the way. The small sanctuary oozed tradition. Old hymnals, wooden pews, paper bulletins, collection plates, a mostly gray-haired congregation, beautiful soft hymns, and Pastor Ann wore a robe. Not far away, maybe a mile, was another church. Not totally the opposite, but nearly. Assembled in a rental property, chairs rather than pews, a praise band with guitars and drums, not much gray hair, if any, and Pastor Andy wore jeans. Woodstock United Methodist Church, the one steeped in tradition with the pristine sanctuary, had approximately 25 loyal attendees on a good Sunday. The nearby church, also United Methodist, was named City on a Hill. It had a membership roll of about 200. And yes, there's Ann and Andy. Not the Raggedy Dolls, but the unlikely ministerial couple with a common vision. These two churches would appear to have little in common other than Methodist doctrine. There was no way for the two to think about merging. No way. The two congregations were reflections of their ministers, the mature, traditional Ann and the youthful, contemporary Andy. Mature. But Ann and Andy themselves had their vision that sidelined any differences, and their hearts were identical. Plus, the churches needed each other. City on a Hill had the people, was outgrowing its facilities, and was nearing the end of an expensive lease. Woodstock United Methodist had the facilities, but not the people, and the future was anything but robust. But the doll duo, Ann and Andy, had the spirit and the vision. So the seed was planted for bringing the two churches together. It was not without disagreement, even dissension at times. Longtime stalwarts at Woodstock United Methodist wanted little to do with drums and electric guitars in their revered sanctuary. And the younger City on a Hill crowd wasn't sure that it could sit still for Just As I Am. But then God intervened. People in both congregations started to dip their toes in compromise and understanding as members began to accept that their theme of better together indeed was better. Lo and behold, even COVID restrictions could not keep this vision from coming into focus. My goodness, Andy even wore a robe every now and then with jeans underneath. Probably the most anxious time in the transition related to an early decision that neither of the churches' names would be retained once the merger was complete. The older folks at Woodstock United Methodist could not fathom giving up a shingle that had hung for 100+ years. And the City on a Hill congregation took tremendous pride in its name as well. But there could be no compromise on this point. An absolute condition of the merger by both parties was that neither name would remain. And then God intervened. After considerable study and prayer, a committee with equal representation presented the new name, The Way Woodstock, a United Methodist Church. For a while, there was no way this merger was going to work. But then there was, almost suddenly, the way. Proof of success at the way does not come in finances or facilities. Ann and Andy regularly emphasize what's most important: the number of souls who come to Christ. Practical steps are being taken at the Way that suggest continuing success toward this ultimate goal. A Capitol building campaign has an appropriate name in Making Room, with impressive results. And traditional and contemporary services are in place now that COVID restrictions have eased, which means traditional and contemporary music offerings each Sunday. Making Room improvements will allow the guitars and drums to retreat eventually from the sanctuary, and their new digs will mean a better setting for more vibrant music and modern services that are popular among today's youth. And young people today are tomorrow's future. And something even better is happening without a whole lot of notice. The not-so-gray worshipers have been sliding into the sanctuary pews recently, singing along and obviously enjoying the old hymns and piano-only music. Who knows? Maybe some of the gray-haired bunch just might sneak into the contemporary service and enjoy blending with the not-so-gray worshipers and join in on the toe tapping. Now you talk about godly intervention.